whole separate thing. But I am also so mad at the fact that like Ben, Michelle, and Nick are still in this game and think that they're playing well. Like I'm like unbelievably pissed.
And that is our recap of Survivor Winners at War episode 12.
Welcome everyone to my weekly meltdowns. Beth's weekly meltdown of Survivor Winners at War season 4. Like we were going back and forth, like, what the hell is that? Why? I'm so pissed. I'm about to have an anxiety attack. This whole episode definitely made up for last week.
Yes.
100%.
It made up in entertainment wise, but I don't think I've ever been so disappointed in a Survivor player, to be frank. Like we have so much to get into. So hello everybody, welcome.
Yes,
Hi Allison, hi Beth. Oh
yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Hello, how you doing?
Let's just dive right into it.
Yeah.
Kim Spradlin, I hope you enjoyed your $2 million plate of cookies and milk tonight.
And peanut butter.
And peanut butter. Yeah.
Well, I'm happy that she got all the fixins with it, and I'm sure she's so happy that she at least shared it with 2 other people, because, bitch, if you're going to throw out the person who is the biggest target, who has all the influence, before the immunity challenge, you better freaking win immunity. Don't just step off.
And furthermore, like, this is something I would expect from Nick or Ben or Michelle, but not Kim Spradlin, the one who everybody agrees is the number one, most best single performance in Survivor history. I'm questioning my entire Survivor winner rankings after tonight's episode. Did tonight prove that One World was just casted with a bunch of morons? Is Kim the Derek Levasseur of Survivor? Is she really not that good? She just played with morons that made her look better.
Push that blasphemy.
I'm so disappointed. And James brings up a really good point here. Kim should have targeted Sarah. I have that in my notes too. We have so much to talk about. Let's get into it. So of course, right when they get back from the tribal council of Tony Hour last week, Tony's he's telling Ben, it was a last minute thing, yada yada yada. Anytime anybody says to you after coming back blindsided from tribal council, it was a last minute thing, you have to know that they are lying to you, right?
They're grimy.
Even if it was a last minute thing, the fact that you weren't included in that last minute thing should be the biggest red flag of them all. And if Jeremy, who obviously was in on that plan, is coming to you and saying, I knew that you were voting for me. This is something I did collectively, but you and I need to work together to get Tony out. That would have been the smartest move for both of them.
I'm sorry, this whole episode, I was laughing the whole time. I mean, it was everything that was going on. I even told you guys, Tony's in a tree, perched. Y'all don't even know, because I'm packing still. Chris has camouflage sheets. I swear to God, I was moving boxes trying to get the sheets. I was willing to unpack everything to get the damn sheets. You want to know the only thing I found? He's going to kill me. I found a camo. I found a camo buff.
Allison, you better watch out. I can't see you. You're so camouflaged.
And a pair of Captain Obvious's camo shorts.
This is Allison's version of the spy nest.
I have a question though, Tyler.
Yes.
Is Allison using a green screen? Because I can no longer see her. I can only see eyes.
I think it's just you and I here, Beth. So we can talk all the shit on Allison we want.
So.
We can totally plan her blindside because she's not here at all. So while Allison is deconstructing her spy nest, so of course,
my spy shorts.
As Allison said, it was a grimy move on Tony. Sarah's super pissed after tribal because now she's totally vulnerable without this protection of having Sophie on one side, Tony on the other. Sarah's only option moving forward is to stick with Tony now. And
can I ask a question about that?
Yeah, sure.
Why wouldn't you, as Sarah, knowing how Tony is, knowing that Tony has screwed you over in another game that he ended up winning, playing the same way he is right now, why wouldn't you realize that at best you are the Trish in this relationship?
Yes.
And that you need to cut him right there and then. it was not Kim's place to make the let's go after Tony move. It was Sarah's place to do that, and she wouldn't have gotten the repercussions in the same way, because she could have been like, Tony, you went against me, I went against you after he won immunity, let's work together. It would have been fine, right? But Kim's not working with them. So it makes much more sense for Sarah to go to Kim, Denise, and Michelle and go, girls versus guys, let's do this. And we're taking out Tony. He went against me. And she already has this really close relationship with Kim that we've seen from secret scenes and that they alluded to in the show. Why wouldn't she go to Kim? I don't get it. All these people played like such idiots tonight, and I don't understand it.
Oh, but listen, Beth, Nick played so hard during that immunity challenge. I mean, he even said, I played my heart out until he saw peanut butter and cookies and got a fire chip.
Why were all three of them saying as soon as they stepped off that they felt regret? Bitch, you better feel that regret 15 minutes before that food comes out.
Yep.
You can have as much, you know how much peanut butter you can buy with $2 million?
Especially in Kentucky, Nick.
I'm just gonna say it. Ben and Nick should not be on this season.
I mean,
there are plenty of other winners, male winners, that could have been so much better. Think about like Mike Holloway instead of Ben on this season. Do you think Mike Holloway would have done that? What's that?
Yes. No, I said Mike Holloway instead of Ben for sure. And I would have loved someone like, it would have been really cool to see like the Iceman come back instead of Nick or something, or to do even like to do Earl. I think Earl would have been great.
Yeah, like, absolutely. It's so frustrating to see them just being totally outplayed, and it's not even close. We saw, Sarah gives Tony an ultimatum. She's like, if this move results in her being voted out, like the friendship is totally over. I think that this actually holds a lot of weight for Tony because I think Sarah's definitely one. She's very influential in all of her relationships she has. I feel like Sarah is one that could. Especially with all this time that they have on the edge of extinction. If she goes there, I feel like she would really be the one to poison Tony's reputation in the final tribal council.
Totally. Do you think that that's why Tony realized that he really needs to be able to keep Sarah by his side? Because one of the things we talked about last week was potentially Tony just flipping on Sarah right now because he doesn't really need her if he's got Ben, for example, or if he's got Nick. But I think that's a really great point, that to send Sarah home right now or to the edge would really love it.
Listen, what was up with Ben tonight? I don't want to talk. Just don't.
Yeah, I mean,
tonight's I'm gonna stare at you, but I don't want to talk.
Tonight's Ben performance just solidifies everything that I've said for years on this show about him as a player, him as a winner. I'm sure he's a nice and great person in real life. That's not what I'm saying.
To me. Stop it. We're not talking anymore. What was that? What did you say? Who are we voting out?
Jesus, even Fabio would have been better than Nick.
Oh, my shit just fell.
That is some strong ass words right there.
This is a mess.
Ben was giving Tyra Sanchez trying to tell girls how to smize and America's Next Top Model while simultaneously trying to be like, you can absolutely get people to tell information to you just by smizing.
Yeah.
Pretend like you're angry at them.
Oh, I just want to point out, this is not my chair. This is Captain Obvious's chair. I'm in his office, but there is a chance I might get this chair when we move, because then I can do things like this.
Well, you'll have to start your Twitch stream and start streaming Fortnite with the chair like that.
Really?
No, don't stream Fortnite.
Yeah.
At the very least, do COD. If you're going to have a chair like that, do COD.
Yeah. So anyway, back to Survivor. With all this damage control Tony does after Tribal, he's saying he goes to Sarah and Ben and tells them both, listen, I have an idol. I feel like everybody, even before he pulled it out of the bag tonight, I feel like everybody knows that Tony has an idol at this point. So we're basically back to Cagayan when everybody knew he had the Tyler Perry idol and they were afraid to just take one for the team and knock him out. I feel like we're on the same exact trajectory to a Tony win that we had in Cagayan.
Oh, but we forgot about another idol that was found tonight. Ben and Tony are casually walking in the jungle, and Ben is lost. He's cracked. Okay, and he's just picking shit out of trees, and all of a sudden just finds an idol and there's just with it, and Tony's like, dude, what are you doing? I see you over there with the idol. What? Oh wait, no, it's like what are you doing? I see you with the idol. Why are you trying to hide it, bro? Like, I see it. What is happening right now? And then he's like trying to apologize about it.
Well, not only does he apologize, he like literally gets down on his knees and he's like, I'm sorry. Like it's every single move of Ben's is just so terrible. Tragic. Like why didn't he just leave the idol in that spot? And then come back for it like 5 minutes later.
The one thing where he lifted up the thing and I was like, oh, is that it? And then he kind of peered in. And then I thought he was just going to leave it, but then he went back into it. Girl, if you are with somebody, leave that shit alone. You just lifted shit out of there. It looked like you checked it thoroughly. Just get the fuck out of there. Know where you're at. Come back.
It's like this. It's like, oh, look what
I mean, if he was playing Sequester, he would have been like, oh, look what I found.
No. Yeah, but in Sequester, we stick LOSs in very unusual spaces and then return them to Audrey wrapped in paper towels.
Yeah. Well, and let us not forget, this is not the first time Ben has like stepped in it and like had to like walk all of his shit back with like, remember like Rob at the very beginning of the season?
The first like episode?
Yeah, like you would think Ben would have learned from that. But like I said, like it's time after time, like just showing like the difference in the capability of these winners and how outclassed like Ben is in terms of strategy in playing this game. It's really disappointing.
Had this stupor, just this look of a scared new employee, just has a resume, has done this job before, but it shows up on a new site like he's never been to this planet or done this. It was just insane to me. He was just like, but tonight during Tribal Council, I was as over it as Denise was over it tonight. I'm done.
Thank you, woman.
I'm done. I know what I'm doing. And Jeremy's like, well, you know you're only safe tonight. And I would have looked at him and go, yeah, and I'll be safe next week too, bitch. I will have this thing around my neck.
Do you guys think Denise would have shut it down if she didn't have immunity?
I think so.
I think so too.
I think she bitch don't care.
I was here for, I mean, we know I'm here for Denise every week, but I was here for all of the commentary from Denise tonight. She was calling some really great commentary at camp. And then at Tribal Council, she was like, yeah, we haven't been able to get through a single Tribal Council yet without whispering. And it's very frustrating. And it's also, but like, she's absolutely right. And I will thank the editors for, if you're going to showcase this, and if the show's going to allow this whispering bullshit to happen, at the very least, subtitle everything like you did tonight.
Yes,
because I finally got a good sense of what was happening.
Yeah, I had that written down on my notes too. I'm glad that we understood, like, at least like from Kim's perspective, what she was trying to accomplish with the whispers. Right. And it was all just like so crazy.
But honestly, my favorite part really was not only just Denise shutting it down, but the way she did it with like no,
I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, I kind of felt bad for Jeremy in that moment because like Denise is supposed to be his ally in this situation, but
he didn't come to her at all this episode.
No, absolutely not. But this whole like Jeremy Ben feud thing is just very bizarre to me, and let's talk about that because I've already like shit on Ben like enough on this podcast tonight, but I just want to say like this is not how you win jury votes in the end. Say that like Ben's in the finals. Do you really expect Jeremy to want to give you the time of day and give you a vote for $2 million when you won't even say yes to go talk to him alone? Like that's terrible. Like you're totally shutting off like any like options of working with somebody moving forward.
It happened multiple times.
Yeah.
There's just, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to stare at you, but I don't want to talk to you.
You're putting all of your eggs in the Tony basket, which is not a basket I would put all of my eggs in.
No, and if Tony comes to you, Nick, and says, I heard you were, I'm not putting that thing back on my head, but I heard you talking. They were sitting there saying, and you heard my name. Did you hear it? And freaking Nick turns into a bad, like, this guy's a cop, like what, a detective, investigative something.
Yeah.
And you're going to go, you immediately go to, what are you doing, Nick? Looking to Jesus for some help? Is he going to give you some lies? What are you doing right now? That's when you own it. With someone like Tony, I feel like you own it in that moment. Yes.
Totally. I 100% agree.
Yes, they were talking. You just don't, I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those things in this situation, right? I'm not even sure Ben would get any votes at this point. I don't think there are people who have liked his game at all because nobody fully trusts him. I think that Tony and Sarah kind of realize that he's with them only because he has to be with them because he doesn't want to be with Jeremy. But if I were Tony, after that whole thing with the idol, a perfect way to unite everybody together so that and get the deflection off of you is not to draw a line. It's to go, okay, guys, I was there when Ben found an idol. He won't see it coming. Let's vote him out. And guess what? Jeremy's now the person who's number 3 with you, which is way better than having Ben because Jeremy is loyal. Jeremy keeps his mouth shut. And Jeremy's actually like a bigger social target for some reason than Tony. So like, why wouldn't you do that?
Ben is all over he's cracking up. He's even sitting there during tribal council. I'm not changing my vote. I'm not. I'm keeping it the same.
And if Tony did get Ben out here, and it say at the end ended up really being Tony, Sarah, and Jeremy, who's Ben gonna vote for? Tony. He's not voting for Sarah. He might. We like to pretend like they have this close relationship, but Ben has always looked to Tony, and Tony's really good at convincing him. Oh, it wasn't my fault. Oh, it was all these other things. And Ben's definitely not voting for Jeremy. So why wouldn't you put someone on the jury who's going to give you their vote?
I'll give you one better, Beth. I think that Tony could have convinced Ben to give him the idol on his way out from being blindsided too.
What are you kidding? Yes, this guy could convince anybody of anything. The guy is sitting there, and Boston Rob is sitting there going, look at this guy. He's the boss. He is running the show. I mean, he is. And I don't want to brag. I don't want to brag or anything.
I just can't believe that, like,
He's in my winner pick top 2.
Well, yeah, like it's Allison's winner pick. Like that's my first problem. The second problem is that I've said so many times on this show that Tony is not a good Survivor player, and the fact that like he's going to be the next 2-time winner, I'm really going to have to eat my own words in a few weeks, and I'm not looking forward to it.
I just want you to know that May 2nd, I got a notification from Amazon. There will be a special delivery made to Tyler's new residence.
Yes, I will be wearing a poop hat to the finale if Tony is our winner.
If he's just in the 2, you have to wear it for at least for a few minutes. Just make me happy. And people have been asking actually in the chat, where are my my doo-doo ears? Dude, they got packed. Okay. They got packed. I can't take it anymore. Those things are making my head hurt. Listen, I'm humiliating enough on my own. I don't need shit on my head.
All right. Well, back to Survivor. Let's talk some Kim Spradlin. Kim, she says she doesn't want Jeremy to go. She identifies Tony and Sarah are a huge threat. And this is like my biggest frustration with this whole thing is that Kim has the right read. She knows what to do. She's good at rallying the troops too. And then she throws it all away. As soon as the milk and cookie and peanut butter comes out, she steps down. And what's even more frustrating is like the first thing she says in confessional after coming back from losing that challenge, she says, what does she say? My plan to take out Tony is majorly foiled tonight. Like, what? Like, you are the one that foiled that plan.
You made that choice.
And people are going to say, like, yeah, but, like, Nick, it was male and female immunity, so, like, she's not competing for the same immunity as Tony, blah, blah, blah. Yes, but she left herself vulnerable.
No, she's the first to step down, which gives other people the thought process of, well, Kim's leading this, and if she can step down, I can. You can't tell me that Michelle and Nick are not followers in this season. They stepped down because they saw their leader step down, and they think, ooh, we could just do this now. So they step down and get that, and then all of them go, oh, wait. And you know what? Props to Tony and Denise for fucking staying up there and just being like, is it over? Okay, cool. I'll just stay. Because they know how important it is to make sure that you've won immunity before you step down. Or like, guys, I'm going to have aneurysm over this episode. I'm so upset.
I was holding my arm up during I don't know why, during the challenge. I just wanted to see how long I could hold my arm up, and it was actually starting to bother me, and it's not even hooked up to anything, and I'm not even on a so it just shows how out of shape I am with this quarantine crap. But I mean, I'm just like, all I could think, $2 million. $2 million.
It's a shame that Parvati wasn't here because this is her challenge. She's won this immunity twice. So that was my first thought when I saw this, is this is a Parvati's challenge. But I'm just, like we said already, like I'm just so disappointed. And Nick's like trying to offer a fire token to Tony to drop early. That should be giving a red flag to Tony, that like maybe there's another plan to take me out, which there was. So maybe this kind of ignited a flame in Tony to really stick it out as long as possible, which didn't end up needing to be as long as possible because everybody dropped out anyway. I'm so upset.
Well, what about this? And what about Michelle? She feels so safe.
I think that's what it was. I think like Michelle knows that it's not going to be me before Kim, before Jeremy. I think that she feels pretty okay, pretty safe. Especially since she didn't give Tony a fire token last week because she has none.
No, but she fed. So here's the best part. Okay, this didn't come out in the show. But we have to connect some dots here, people. Last week, she told Tony, oh, I can't give you any tokens because I bought something for when I'm on the edge of extinction. So this week, she goes, hey, Jeremy, for some reason, I'm still going to write your name down. But here's my advantage. That's a 50-50 coin. You play that tonight. And what does Jeremy do? Jeremy goes, Michelle gave me her advantage, which is something. So if you're Tony, you know that Michelle lied to you, straight lied about like the advantage.
That's a really good point, Beth. I didn't even think about that. Tony is just armed not only with advantages, but all the information. Like he knows where every piece of the puzzle is like laid out on the entire board. And information is like the most dangerous thing to have in this game. Like I think even more so than advantages.
But it makes me mad. Like, why wouldn't Michelle go up to Jeremy if that's what the move she wanted to do and do it right before Tribal Council and say, your name's coming up tonight. You need to use this. I'm giving this to you to do, and you have to use it tonight. And don't listen to what anybody's telling you. If people are telling you it's somebody else, it's you. Like that's what she needs to do in that situation. Because at the very least, she still wins favor, with Jeremy. And if he gets immunity, then like, okay, cool. Like it's still going to be the person like Kim that gets voted out, but she strengthens that connection there. Yeah. Now it looks like she's just lost all control that she had, which was not that much to begin with.
Yeah, well, I think she better get used to peanut butter because she's going to be eating a ton on the edge of extinction now. That's what she gave up her game for, honestly.
That whole montage of Tony's game from the past 2 seasons that he played, showing him doing his sniper crawl and getting in the dirt and hiding and making his spy shack and everything. I just loved it. I absolutely loved it.
I love that too, and you just sparked something in me. Who were there were like 5 people in the first episode who all got flashbacks to their game. Are they all still in the game?
It was
Michelle?
I know it was Michelle. I know it was Denise.
I thought it was Sarah.
I think it was Sarah in Game Changers.
And they've done flashbacks with her already since that.
Yeah, I would have to go back and look at who I said from our first recap episode.
Yeah.
Because I definitely did write that down, but that's definitely something to keep in mind. Although I do want to point something out. I read on the Edgic subreddit who they break down the edit and stuff like that. They pointed out that Nick said in the very first episode, he said that the winner of this season is going to be the person who really makes the most of these fire tokens. And we saw Tony do that last week. With getting everybody on his side, giving him fire tokens and everything. And who did they pan to when Nick was saying that in the first episode? Who was reading the parchment that gave the rules for the fire tokens? It was Tony. So I think that was like a little bit of foreshadowing to what I think is coming. Convince me otherwise, please. This is a open forum discussion. If somebody can convince me here that somebody else is winning this season rather than Tony, let me know. Is it Sarah?
No, I don't see Sarah because she's not in control. It's Tony. It's her responses to Tony.
He's fucking her. She said it tonight. She is. Excuse my French, Jesus, but she is.
Yeah.
I mean, he is, and it's so fun. It's like. Okay, I just Tyler, you're on such a roll. I want to keep you going. I want you to bitch a little bit about Rob on Edge of Extinction.
Oh my God. You've got to be kidding
its
me.
elbow and kept on out. Please, I need this.
Oh my God.
Before we get to that, I just have to say one more thing, that this is an Edgic kind of thing, okay? Yeah. If the producers wanted one cast member to say who the winner is, who would they point to in this cast? Rob Mariano. Who was the one at Tribal Council that said, Tony's the boss?
He's the boss.
Mm-hmm.
Rob's the boss.
Yep.
So I think that's their way of being and this is how the whole jury thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Just put that.
Well, not only that, but I also wrote down that Parvati said, "Why, Kim? Why?" In that tribal council too.
I almost took a picture of that.
Mm-hmm. That should be our thumbnail. But anyway, so to talk about Boston Rob being so heroic to really finish out the challenge that was presented to him. I had a box of tissues here because I was just getting super emotional, all the casual crazy cat lady people commenting on the Facebook page right now for Survivor. I'm so overcome with emotion. Boston Rob is he's a true hero of this game. Do you want a cookie or a small parade for your efforts? Because I'm not giving you fire tokens for finishing.
He wants a parade with cookies being thrown at him.
I was rolling my eyes so hard.
I love that they didn't even show Amber being Rob, you're doing such a great
she
job. She was fuck that, I mean my rice. You can go off and do whatever.
I didn't see her run at all, did you guys? She was just kicking that. She's I don't care.
If you got more than halfway through that and you know that you're nowhere near to finishing and everybody else is starting to finish, quit. Why are you expending your energy?
Yeah, I agree with that.
It comes, Amber's look, y'all don't even know. I live with this. He does this at home all the time. He's finishing all kinds of shit. I can't get him to stop. Don't even get me started about the bedroom.
I'm just picturing them playing a game of Scrabble and it's over. Amber has won, but Rob is using his last tiles to no, I have to finish the game.
I gotta come up with a 2-letter word. How about awe?
Flipping through the dictionary pages.
A 2-letter word. Hey, I need a 1-letter word. K. Does that count? Because sometimes I reply to a text with K.
He would do that.
I'm just laughing at the fact that Amber can't get Rob to stop in the bedroom.
No, even when it's time to quit.
She's Rob, it's done.
And she's just sitting there eating rice.
Listen, honey, it ain't happening. Stop rolling it up and sticking it in there. It just ain't gonna grow. Just stop it.
This is not the mental image I need.
That's
Well,
why it was so
you're
funny.
getting it.
Oh my God,
You're
my
getting
face
it.
is so red. Whew. So anyway, the challenge was to bring back 12 coconuts, whatever. 6 people get 2 fire tokens from this, which I think is a lot of fire tokens to be giving out for one challenge. And maybe that's just because the fire token economy is like we're dealing with inflation. That's what I think, but I don't know. It was an okay challenge. I'm glad we didn't spend too much time on it, to be frank. But what I did want to point out is like who Parvati identified is like really strong, good competitors. She says like Tyson's a beast, Wendell's super strong, Natalie's a superhero. It's interesting that like they had her, Yule. They had her start with Tyson, who was the first Edge of Extinction returnee. So like the fact that like we end with Natalie is a superhero, and then who do we hear from next? It's Tyson, and Tyson saying, he's confirming, yes, the women are so strong in this challenge. They are unstoppable.
She didn't even mention Sophie, who like almost won it.
Yeah, I was very, very
Who won that
Sophie.
challenge?
I have it written down in order is Natalie, Sophie, Yule, Tyson, Parvati, and Wendell and Danny were really close.
And what place did Rob come in?
I guess
probably 8th because he actually fucking finished it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, but the fact that Sophie kept up with Natalie and she lapped everybody, like that's very impressive.
Yep.
Can we talk about Adam once again saying what we're all thinking during a challenge like this? He's sitting there struggling with a coconut. Wendell pretty much jumps over him to get to the other side to get to a rock. And he's like, what just happened? How are you human? Like, he is so funny because he's like just sitting there, just strolling with his little coconut. And I'm like, that would be me. That would totally be me.
And then I see Wendell make a huge leap across the rocks. And I'm like, how did you do that? And like, Adam himself does CrossFit. Like, he's not in athletic or anything like that. So just all the shots of like them zooming in on him being like, wow. Oh, wow. I don't know what I'm doing here.
I don't know what I'm doing. Everyone keeps passing me. What's happening?
No, it honestly reminded me, for anybody who's seen Captain America: Winter Soldier, literally is when he keeps passing the Falcon guy on your left, and he's like, "Stop saying that." That's literally what I kept thinking.
Captain America is passing Sam, the Falcon. Mind your left. Mind your left. Mind your left. Which actually turned into an amazing moment in Endgame. If you've seen that.
I haven't seen Endgame yet. So
when he's about to take on.
Don't say it. I literally.
Okay. Anyway, that's another show.
Anyway, okay. Survivor. So Thomas Talker says, "Imagine if Danny comes back and wins." This is the first time we've really seen like anything from Danny, so that's definitely something to keep an eye out as well.
If the wind blows any harder on that island, that bitch is flying off into sea.
My mom,
we are never seeing her again.
My mom literally goes,
"Yes,
oh my God, she's like, can we adopt her, like, to give her food?" And I was like, "Mom, it's not like a starving."
Yeah, I'm a little worried about her.
Yeah.
You know those like animals that don't get fed and shit, and the Ethiopian children that you see these commercials for.
Yeah,
and it's all I hear.
People in the chat, I want to hear who you think is the Edge of Extinction returnee. Matt Henning says he thinks it's Adam. That definitely could be the case, I guess. But Kevin brings up a really good point here. Natalie has 8 fire tokens, so she can buy herself.
Natalie's if she comes back.
So she could buy herself an advantage in the challenge and an idol if she were to get back in. So that's a lot of power to come back with.
How did she have 8?
Didn't she get all those tokens from, or did Parvati get them?
She and Parvati split them, I'm assuming. So then she has 3 plus the 2 from today. So she has 5 at the very least.
Yeah, and then 3 from like the beginning. She didn't spend any fire tokens for advantages in the first challenge.
Yes, she did.
She did?
Yeah, she spent the challenges for the advantage in the challenge and then for an immunity idol. If she got back in, she spent all of her tokens.
Yeah, we'll have to do the math on that, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's 8, honestly. People in the chat are saying not only Boston Rob, Parvati. I really could see Parvati returning as well, and I would love nothing more. She's one of the few people I think could come back from Edge of Extinction and potentially pull out a win here. So let's see. So back at camp, Nick's looking at his end game. He wants to build a resume. My question is, like, why has he played second fiddle to Tony for so long? And it's interesting to me that he then makes an alliance of Denise, Michelle, and Nick. Do you guys think that alliance has any longevity in this game?
No.
Who is it again? Who's it again?
Denise, Nick, and Michelle.
Okay. Did we not say a few weeks ago that Denise and Nick would work together? Didn't that come up? Like that would be her new Adam?
I think Denise can work with anybody. I think that's like the magic
she can
of Denise.
too. I think she'll have zero issues getting rid of him. And who was the other one? Michelle?
Kim, technically, but Kim got out tonight.
Well, yeah, they said Kim would be like a 4th for them if they needed it.
Right.
So that's definitely something to keep an eye on in the future. We have a question from my friend Taylor. What happens to the tokens after that challenge to get back in then? They're done. Like, you spend them for that advantage. So if you don't make it back into the game, you have spent those tokens. Like, you are purchasing that. You are making a transaction. You don't get those things back.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Matt said something. Jeremy was so disrespectful to Denise, and I could not. Do you mean during tribal council?
It's got to be when she was like this to him.
She went, no.
All he did, but wait a minute. All he did was tap her on the shoulder, and then she got an attitude, and he was like, "Are you sure you want to pull this card?" Oh yes.
I think. I kept, first of all, I caught this. I don't know if anybody else did. It was a quick shot, but they used the same quick shot twice in that whole whispering situation.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was when Denise was like finished standing up and talking to somebody, and then she went over towards Sarah. They used that shot twice, the whole like shot of everything. But anyway, all I could think about is like when you saw Denise, Sarah, and I forgot who the third person in the middle was who was just sitting.
Everybody's all over the place. I can't keep up. That's why I have anxiety.
You could see that the people who were sitting and trying to answer Jeff's questions were getting just very frustrated. Like you could hear it in Denise's. And then there was a moment where she leaned over and she spoke to Jeremy for like a second. And then she like sat forward, and like I was watching everything there. And it seems to me what we probably, again, this is like probably like an hour-long ceremony that they cut down to 5 minutes. So I don't know how much was happening beforehand that made her be like, stop it, stop whispering, stop it, or whatever. But I don't know if he was disrespectful, but I also understand like where she was coming from with that too. So I don't know. I kind of see both sides there.
During that whole tribal council, I shat you not. I'm sitting there with Finley petting him, and he and I are we're petting Finley, and we're both just kind of like, what the fuck is happening? Who's talking to who? I don't know. I don't know who's going where. What's happening? Why can't they just sit and be normal? This is getting out of hand. I can't take it anymore. And then he bit me. So it's so frustrating. I'm so sick of it. I'm sorry. I'm over it. Getting up when Jeff is talking, have some respect for Jeff Probst. If you don't have your shit together, you have all freaking day to figure out who you're going to vote for. Yeah, it's cute sometimes when one or two people, but when everybody's, and Jeff's trying to ask questions, and he's asking like Nick a question, like, we really care what Nick thinks at this point, but still be a little respectful. Is it that hard?
I totally agree.
Don't you want the jury to hear things so that maybe that can help them make a decision rather than just hearing hearsay when they get to edge of extinction?
Yeah, that's you are totally right. Like the repercussions, like that the jury like can't make an informed decision if they are just seeing all of these whispers. You know, that's how we get like a Rick Devens to win instead of like an actual good player.
Did we really need an informed decision for edge of extinction the first time?
Well, I just
with that jury.
Well, Allison, you said it's like disrespectful to Jeff Probst. It's disrespectful to the game of Survivor, in my opinion. You know, what's the point of going back to camp after immunity is done and like sitting there for a day and a half if you're gonna save all that strategizing and all of this chaos, this craziness for tribal council? And Jeff is totally leaning into it, which is frustrating me even more. He sounded like a baseball game announcer tonight. He was like, and we have Ben sitting on the left side and Sarah sitting down on her seat still.
Oh, no shit. He sure did. He was calling it play by play.
He loves it.
I got the sense he doesn't love it and that he was doing it sarcastically because I was looking at his face and his face was over it. Like,
well, maybe he's trying to joke, like, okay, guys, all right, let's stop it. But I'm at the point where Denise is at, where like, just stop, like, and just sit down, like, say what you need to say, make a good, solid pitch for yourself, and if you find yourself in this position, do a better job at the actual game instead of saving it for all of this like scramble at tribal council. It's I don't like Red's head.
I can't take anymore. If I'm Jeff Probst, I'm like, hello. Been hosting this show 20 years, been putting up with all y'all's drama and all your BS behind the scenes and your crap. Sit here and show me some respect and answer the question and stop running around and playing musical chairs. This has been going on for 2 to 3 years. I'm over it. If you're not prepared, it's like going to a meeting. When I go to a meeting, I'm prepared for my meeting. I'm not sitting over there going, Beth, what did you get? What are you writing down over there? What are we doing? What are we talking about?
You're completely right.
Are you prepared?
It does ruin the integrity of the game. Like imagine if Big Brother allowed them to just start like whispering to each other right before they voted. Like that.
Oh, Chenbot would never. She would malfunction. You would see like sparks flying out of the circuitry.
100%. That's exactly my point. Are we actually suggesting for once that Big Brother is better than Survivor in one area?
Yeah.
That's a red flag, producers of Survivor. You don't want to be worse than Big Brother in something.
If you look, Jared points out the whispering didn't stop after the vote. He kept whispering to Jeremy after the vote.
I don't like that either. That should be
guys, please stop it.
That should have been like, nope, you can't play anything now. Please, dear God, Jeff Probst, Survivor producers, if you happen to watch this podcast,
which you should,
please hear our word. First of all, please subscribe. Secondly,
subscribe button.
Please, for the love of God, get rid of whispering. Tell them straight up, you get one warning and then you get a penalty vote against you. And if you have an idol, you can't play it. And if you have an advantage, you can't play it. Literally.
Do we need to pray real quick?
Fine.
Let's just pray. Jesus, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Jesus, please, for the love of Jesus,
for the love of
Jeff
Probst,
with the whispering on Survivor. I can't take it at Tribal Council anymore. I've taken your father's name in vain. I don't know how many times during it, and I'm sorry. Okay? But Finley and I can't take it anymore. Beth's about to crack. Tyler's about to jump off a roof. Shit's getting real. Please, sorry, God, Jesus. Please. Amen.
Amen.
My eyes!
Yes,
my eyes!
While I'm praying to our Lord and Savior, you put crotch on the freaking screen.
Jesus.
I was like, their eyes are closed. I have to do something funny. Yeah. So some other points I want to talk about before we wrap up here. Somebody suggested earlier when we started, but I definitely want to talk about this point a little bit more. The whole Jeremy and Ben thing totally got everybody's attention, and it really should have been Sarah that they should have been targeting tonight.
I thought you had a friggin' ghost in your
dude. Hold on, I just peed a little. Y'all don't even know Finley. That door was shut all the way, and he just opened it.
Allison was like, "Those literally."
Did you see my face?
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway.
Okay. Sorry.
Guys,
it's okay.
We're like 6 weeks into quarantine.
I know, we're losing our damn minds. But anyway, I really think that, especially Kim, she should have been targeting Sarah here. I understand that like they have like a working relationship with each other, but at some point, like you have to realize that Sarah's more with Tony than she will ever be with you.
And you have to consider, is Sarah the type of person that will write your name down? And if so, you need to be willing to write her name down. And Sarah proved tonight that she's willing to write Kim's name down.
Absolutely. And what a golden opportunity to take out Sarah here.
Totally.
And really weaken Tony. Then Tony, his greatest alliance member is Ben at this point. And that really puts Kim in a driver's seat position here. It's very frustrating. I can't wait for like a deep dive after the season's done on RHAP. I really hope we hear from Kim, her perspective of the season. I would really Allison's door is going to go silent.
Not that we don't love RHAP, but let's get Kim on our show and do a deep dive.
Oh, I would love that too. I would really love that.
Kim, which one? Kim Matena?
Kim Spradlin.
I mean, let's have Kim and Kim on.
Let's have two Kims.
Both Kims. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit more. Let's see. I'm looking at my notes. Let's talk about Michelle telling Jeremy about the 50-50 idol. Do you think she should have done that? What do you think?
No.
It was just the intensity of it. It was just, she was so innocent. Okay, listen, I'm going to give you the 50-50.
Yeah.
It either works or it doesn't. Either way, I'm writing your name down.
Either way, I think she should have told Jeremy, don't mention this to Tony. I really love Beth's point at the beginning of the show that like Tony knows that Michelle lied now.
Yeah.
It's just arming him with more information that he doesn't need to further himself. And besides, it's a shit advantage anyway. Like it's not even anything to really go home about. So
I'm interested more so with the advantage at this point. Now that everybody knows that Jeremy has something, because he always played it, so everyone either thinks he has an idol or they know he has the 50-50, and everyone knows that Tony has an idol, and everyone knows that Ben has an idol, because Ben literally went, should I play my idol tonight? To Sarah. Didn't even whisper it. Like,
my God, that guy's done. He's done.
Since all of those puzzle pieces are put together, A, for the jury, but B, for the benefit of everybody still left in the game, what do people without those advantages do? Like, what could, for example, Denise, who has, I think, the most fire tokens out of anybody right now, who's in the game? Like, what do those?
I think it's Denise. I think Denise has the most fire tokens.
Isn't that what I said?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Ben. I was typing a comment.
I said Denise. If I said Ben, I did not mean that. No, I'm pretty sure Denise has the most fire tokens. So, like, what does someone like Denise do where, with the power of the fire tokens right now? How does she use that to her advantage? And now that Kim is gone, who I think was probably Denise's closest ally in this game, now that she kind of had that moment with Jeremy, where is she lined up with people? And like, is Nick and Michelle really going to stay together? Because that's 3 against 4, right? So
I think Denise is like one of the most fluid people in terms of where she could go, both from like a position standpoint and just in terms of like capability of a Survivor player. I'm really interested to see where she goes, and I'm glad that she won immunity tonight. She wasn't like the one that really stepped down. So I don't know.
Fun Denise fact, everybody. All 3 times that Denise has won an individual immunity, it's always been one man, one woman winning it.
Oh, that is a good fact. I like that.
That is a fun fact.
You're all welcome.
So let's pull up the brackets. So here is the first one. Alex Kidwell lost Kim tonight. Keep in mind, we're losing 2 survivors next week with the 2-hour show. So we're in for a doozy next week.
I just want to point out that Team Allison has 3 people left.
I think Team Allison has the winner on it.
I think Team Allison's got the winner in it.
Anyway, so let's bring up my bracket with Beth, because we are dead tied, which is crazy.
How are you tied? She's got 4 people and you've got 3.
Just the point breakdown that's happened. It's
yeah, it's interesting. Like I had a really good night tonight, which got me back to being tied.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I haven't reviewed the math because we know that there have been mistakes in the past, but
all right.
Can we talk about Queen Denise being at 41 because she not only won individual immunity tonight, she also got a fire token from someone leaving the game.
Yeah. She is easily the one with the most points here. So good job picking her.
All I'm saying is I know that there's a quote unquote winner of Survivor based off of how the game works, but let's be honest, if we're looking at how our points break down, it is far and away Denise Stapley is the best Survivor out there, and I won't hear another word on the subject.
I totally agree. You won't hear any counter thoughts here. She is the MVP of points here. So yeah.
Now, Beth, Beth gets props for that. I've got possibly the winner in my pick, and I get shit on constantly.
Listen, you will see shit on my head in a couple weeks, so your time's coming.
Finale. Can you put ours back up for a second? Because I was trying to think of this off the top of my head. So we'll discuss this in a second because I want to know who you guys think is going to go home next week. Who are the 2 people that go? I am interested to see now that we have this 3 to 4, how this goes, because there's a part of me that really thinks that like potentially 2 people on my team go, but I really think Jeremy's going to be one of the 2 people that goes next week. So if that would leave you with 2 people who I believe will be in the top 4, who I think Sarah and Tony are both going to be top 4.
Agreed.
And I think on my team, I could see Michelle going to the top 4 as well, because I feel like that's been her kind of narrative. But as like a goat, she doesn't get any points. And I can't tell who out of here, or if it's like an Edge of Extinction person is also in the top 4. So I just keep sitting here thinking like, I need to rack up points because I'm so certain that Tony's winning now in order to hope that I get the 2nd and the 3rd place person in order to like overdo it.
It really is going to come down to the wire, like no matter how it shakes out, which is exciting. Kevin very kindly gave us an update on who has how many fire tokens. So thank you for that. Ben has 0, Denise has 6, Jeremy has 1, Michelle has 0, Nick has 3, Sarah has 3, and Tony has 3.
Didn't Tony pay back? Didn't we get confirmation tonight that Tony paid back Jeremy and Ben last week because Nick was still owed?
Yeah, but then Nick gave Tony a token. Or no, Tony gave Nick a token.
That's what I'm saying. So I think that Tony actually doesn't. I think that Tony gave his tokens back to Ben and to Jeremy last week after Tribal Council.
Yeah, I trust that this is right.
No, I trust it's right, but I'm just saying that it could be that Ben has 1, Jeremy has 2, and Tony has 2.
Yeah. I'll give Allison a little credit here. Joseph saying she had the winner last cycle too. She also had 2 of the 3 finalists. What if she has all 3? Very well could be. I could see a Sarah, Ben, Tony final 3.
I could too.
Sorry. I'm wearing a tiara. I have a tiara somewhere. I may have to order it.
I will get you a shit tiara.
Will you get me a shit tiara? I'll wear a shit tiara.
I'll buy one.
So let me pull up the bracket just so we can talk about who is remaining in terms of who we think will go next week. So I'll start since I always go last. I think that next week we're going to see Jeremy and I'm going to say Ben. I think Ben's gonna go here.
I think it's Jeremy and Nick.
It's 2 hours, right? So that's 2. Wait a minute. How many people left? 1, 2, 3.
So
4,
it's going to
5?
bring us down to 5, and then the finale is going to have the Edge of Extinction returning, and then 5 for into the 3 finalists. So that's how the rest of the season works out.
Is the finale it'll be?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys! I'm gonna be
so next week is we'll get down to the final 6. No, sorry.
Final 5.
Final 5, and then we'll get somebody back to make the final 6, and again. So then it'll be 6, 5, 4 with the fire making challenge, and then the final 3, and then the reunion. Oh my God.
Okay, so y'all. Okay, my 2 that I think are going next week. Are you ready for this?
Yeah. Yep.
Michelle and Nick.
I could see. I'm just getting the vibe that Nick is gone. Like, I feel like he's gone back and forth between Tony and Kim. And I think that the 3 votes for Jeremy tonight were the 3 women. I think it was Denise, Michelle, and Kim. But I think that Nick's game is catching up with him and that Tony's doesn't want to work with him anymore. So I can definitely see Nick going. And I'm fairly certain that Jeremy will get his comeuppance as well, like with... Fine. I don't mean to say that as if he deserves it. That's not how I feel. Although, Jeremy, you've really disappointed me the past couple weeks. You're one of my favorite winners of all time, and
I think he's doing everything he can, minus like having a better relationship with Ben.
He's getting missed by Tony, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I'll give him that. Yeah. Let me take this off so Allison can show her face again. I think that's it for me. Do you guys have any more thoughts?
I just am still laughing about Ben finding the idol and trying to like put it in his pants, basically turning around and putting it in his pants in front of Tony and acting like he's not doing it. What are you acting like you're scratching your nuts with the idol? It just I'm still laughing about it. I just think he's cracking up.
I can't.
You guys don't even know I was laughing so hard. So, let's go. Next week, I will be in the midst of, this has been going on for 2 months. I'm going to cry. I'm getting into my new house.
Yeah.
So I am moving next week into my new house, but on Wednesday, I will be staying at my mother-in-law's house. And the older generation has the Walmart. It's not even Walmart. It's that Kmart, Dollar General, freaking Wi-Fi.
McDonald's Wi-Fi?
Yeah, it doesn't. McDonald's, it doesn't work for shit. So I don't want to be freezing. So I was going to announce that for next week's show, joining Beth and Tyler, Matt Henning, a long time great guy, watched me pee in a cup during my
only watch, but made you pee in a cup, basically.
Yeah, he watched me kind of pee in a cup when I was playing my Sequester mini that I won. So, he's going to be filling in for me. And it's a 2-hour show, so it should be really good. He's very knowledgeable, and I can't wait to see what he has to say about it. So that'll be happening next week. Anything else?
That's it for me. Regardless of the result, I've had such a great time this season. I want to say that because I don't want to sound like I'm like complaining, like I don't like the season or anything. It's been a fantastic ride, and I'm so happy that we got to see all these winners play again. So I'm still very thankful that we got winners at war. I am just not the biggest Tony gameplay fan is what I'll say. But
yeah, we know that.
Can't argue with the results. It's very effective this season. But I enjoyed watching Tony's performance and downfall in Game Changers a lot more than this.
I have to say that as much as I literally yelled and screamed tonight, I have thoroughly enjoyed this season. Yes, even the people that I've been super hard on, like Ben and Nick and everything, they have had their moments in this season that I think prove why they did deserve to be on the season for at least a little bit. I don't know if
it was so hard for you to say.
But I will say that, like, I thoroughly have enjoyed this season. I'm so thankful to Survivor and CBS for putting this together, and that all these winners came back and agreed to do it. I know that there were some winners that weren't able to come back, and that sucks. But I'm just so happy to see these people come back and entertain us. This is the pick me up that Survivor really needed after a few rough seasons. And as much as we complain about Edge of Extinction, I'm so happy that we get to see those old schoolers who are on Edge of Extinction. I'm so happy that we get to see really striking cinematography over there. And I really do think that this is one of the best seasons of Survivor.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what really picks me up? The fact that arriving Sunday.
All right. Go ahead and gloat. I do also want to plug real quick that Audrey is planning a Sequester mini for Survivor players.
She is?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I can't wait to see Adam Klein playing that. I'm sure he's going to be a part of it.
So. Is he playing?
They haven't announced the cast. I mean,
the cast isn't out yet, but I'm sure Adam's going to play.
Are we going to do something about that? Are we going to do a show?
100%. We'll
I want to do
definitely
that.
do a pre-show analysis once the cast is announced, and we definitely got to do a post-show as well, see if we can get somebody to come on the show, just like we did with Big Brother and RHAP. The other thing is that this Sunday there will be a Sequester mini with influencers, streamers happening, and there were, for the patrons of Sequester, because I don't have permission to share this, so I'm not going to. But if you're a patron of Sequester, go check out the message that you got, because you got some cool hints as to who might be in the cast. The cast is going to be released on Friday, I think. And then the mini is on Sunday, so I'm really excited to see who's in that.
Who's playing it? Wait a minute. It's podcasters and streamers and stuff?
I don't know if it's podcasters. It's streamers, like Twitch streamers, influencers, some YouTube personalities, that kind of thing.
What was the YouTube personalities? Where's my memo?
I don't know. I didn't put this together.
That's what I said.
Wait a minute. Am I an influencer? Like, do I influence men to find better women? I mean, it's just, what's an influencer? What is an influencer?
Allison, you definitely influence me in ways that I'm trying.
Tyler, I take credit because I think when I met you, you were 98% gay. And I think that 2% that made it 100 is owed to me.
I thought you were going to say you were 98 years old and you've slowly aged backwards like Benjamin Button.
I am Benjamin Button, but I do feel that Tyler, that was the nail on the head. Yes, I can't. If it's anything like Allison, I can't. No.
I can neither confirm or deny that. But you're onto something. So definitely we'll keep you guys posted on all the coverage. As always, make sure you like and subscribe our video tonight, and make sure you subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts. Give us a 5-star review if you can. Yes, please and thank you. And with that, I think that's everything. Follow us on social media, all that jazz too.
Right. You guys, your Twitter handles and your Instagram stuff is in your little boxes. Me, on the other hand, I just refuse. I just want to be Allison S. Kelly. You can find us on Instagram at My Weekly Meltdown, Facebook, My Weekly Meltdown. And again, subscribe to this show. You'll get a notification when you hit the subscribe button for when we go live. And we're hopefully, once I move, there will be more shows, because I have a funny feeling Big Brother ain't gonna be happening this summer the way it normally does. So we're gonna have to come up with something.
But we also know that Sequester is coming back with old school online season, so we'll have some stuff to cover. And Allison is the go-to person for that on our podcast, as she not only competed on 1 but 2 of those seasons. So
one.
Well, I won a mini, but not the real old school. Well, not that a mini's not a real old school, but I mean the freaking 7 days, 2 hours a night, sleep deprivation, anxiety, started taking Zoloft, maybe drank a little bit. It's a blur. Ethan fucked me, but it's fine. I'm not, he's my little fart in the wind. He knows it.
So, what was that about? You getting fucked by someone?
Okay, excuse me. I'm trying to clean up my language.
That's when he found out he was 100% gay.
Yes. It's true. On that note, if you are a man and you are unsure if you are 100% gay, contact me and you will know you are. I feel I'm that person.
All right.
I'm the go-to.
Let's wrap this shit up. Yep. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.